it's just funny because I believe since we're little, we're told that, doctors know what they're doing. They spend all this time and money learning so much. It's the gold standard they go through, governments back them up. There's multiple levels of trust in government, in science, in medicine as whole, and healthcare that we likely have to break down for that to happen. And books like yours start to do that. But how do you feel we start to get to those almost subconscious beliefs that people put their trust so much in that doctor that even when they say 6 months to live, almost to the date, it could be 6 months, even though maybe you were really given 6 years. How do you feel? Because you yourself had to do that over a number of years and experience, unfortunately, failure from the system to switch out. But do you think there's a catalyst here that doesn't mean everyone has to go through your experience?
Yeah, as a professional coach with excellent training, we are taught that when the pain outweighs the gain, you will make the shift.
Mm,
And so someone once asked me, what do you see as the main characteristic in the clients that work with you?
mhm.
And the two main characteristics were either fear of death or fear of becoming a burden on the family.
Wow.
So it has to be really painful in order for a person to say, I'll do anything to get well. And in my case, I desperately wanted my life back.
Wow.
I had a great corporate job. I lived in a nice place, and all of that fell apart when I became sick. So for me, I just had enough. It was it was pretty obvious that they didn't have answers for me, and I wanted my life back. So,
Right.
so it takes a huge catalyst. I see it saddens me every day on X where you and I met.
Yeah.
People, even this morning, a young girl was diagnosed with lung cancer.
Mm,
And 90% of the time, these people will go right back to conventional
yes.
medicine. And not all of the time, you can't just throw a blanket over everything, but a lot of the time, those doctors that you're turning to are the same ones that got you sick in the first place.
Absolutely.
So it's scary out there, and I don't really know how to get through to people other than to keep preaching, like
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
spreading the word that there are
Right.
other answers, other solutions.
Yeah, I mean, I could echo what you're saying because, we have this center that's been around for a while in New York, doing it in this holistic way, mind, body, spirit, and really helping people, heal and not just, again, put band-aids over their problems. And it's become sort of like known as last chance New York, they kind of jokingly call it,
Really?
because it's people who have that sudden fear of death and no other thing has worked. Then
Right.
they start to break down their concepts of what medicine is, that I've been failed. It's only then. And my father always said, like, I enjoy healing, but it's such a larger burden because you have to undo decades sometimes of
Yes.
damage, toxicity, emotional trauma. He's like, if we were the first option, it would be so much better. We could prevent disease, prevent suffering. Do you feel though, because you are on X, where there's obviously it's this platform that I find is the most open to kind of, this idea of holistic and the Maha movement, all these other things. Do you feel that we are moving in that direction at least? Because again, I feel like sometimes we're in silos and we just kind of listen to each other, but the majority still doesn't think the way we do. But are you seeing it yourself, even with your clients and everything, that there's more of an acceptance to turn to more of the alternative things and the emotional side and everything before the conventional? Or are we just, kind of just preaching to a small population?
I think we're preaching to a small population, and
Yeah.
and here's why. I
Okay.
think you had even made a post in the last couple of days about um, taking care of your health before you
Yep.
lose it, and I was there. I know, you're just gonna keep skipping down the road. Well, I've got my health. I'm not
Yeah.
in danger. So you've got that factor going on that people aren't going to pay attention until they're in crisis. And
Hmm.
then the other group of people are going to wait for the government to fix it.
Yes.
So they're going to wait for seed oils to be banned and dyes in our food to be banned. They're going to wait for the system to clean up the
Yeah.
food. I wouldn't wait for that. Personally, I would not wait for that. So I think that's what's going on. I think, and then you've got all of these self-proclaimed health gurus on the platform who are
Yep.
saying, supplements are poison. Well, I get the theory. I understand big pharma's behind the supplement industry as well.
Yep.
But if I need a supplement, I'm going to take it.
Yes.
Okay. I get where they're coming from. Supplements can be toxic, but if your body is deficient, and that's one of the things that I recommend when a client comes to me is to go in and get the conventional blood work and let's
Hmm.
see what's going on with your blood. Let's see what you're lacking. One thing that I was very lacking in when I was sick was magnesium. And
Yes.
magnesium is a very important element. Now, that's,
Huge.
some of these is important to distinguish a vitamin from a mineral.
Hmm.
So magnesium is a mineral. And so my doctor explained to me that once you become, because I said to him, how could I be deficient in magnesium? I take it every day. And he said, once you become deficient, your body loses its ability to absorb.
Yes.
So I had to get injections for
Hmm.
6 weeks to bring my levels back up. That's important information to know. So if you have, again, there are some experts on LinkedIn, there are some self-proclaimed health gurus who will tell you that you shouldn't be taking supplements. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. So, but I see people, there was one person that I interact with quite frequently who was sick. She had the flu this past winter and I recommended vitamin C, high doses
Hmm.
of highly absorbable vitamin C to
Yep.
support your body. And I don't know, like 3 days later, I saw that she had posted that she was eating so much fruit that the citrus had actually burned her mouth.
Mm.
So she didn't want to take the supplements and she was trying to get it through food. God bless her, you know. Um, so it's still a big hill that we need to climb. It's still a very big hill that we need to
It
climb.
really is, and that's you bring up a few things in there. There's like even infighting among health and wellness, right? You
Yep,
see it all the time. It's like ban the vaccine. It's only how could you not be talking about the vaccine? And then it's well, what about food? No, it's this, and it's like why can't we look at this as a holistic thing and just say it's all there? As you wrote yourself, it's like there is no one size fits all here.
right.
Every individual is going to walk down their unique path, and we need to arm them with the research, but without the kind of conflicting and antagonizing and negative sort of stuff.
The
I'm actually
fear.
getting a little fed up with Twitter between all the health
Oh, me
people
too.
just attacking each other instead of
Yeah,
saying, listen, we kind of have a common enemy, which is big pharma and government trying, everyone trying to keep us unhealthy. But if you have the opposite intention, allow people to give their opinions, but it shouldn't be a lot of this infighting. And I guess that comes to because a large part of what you wrote here very wisely is you got to be your own researcher. You got to be your own advocate. You cannot allow just doctors to dictate what is the best for your body with their sometimes limited knowledge base on you and maybe on different, aspects of you.